Yes. So in yesterday's class, you have learned about packing efficiency of all the three kinds of unit cell. That is simple cubic, body centered as well as face centered. Correct, no? And if you remember the packing efficiency, what we have got for simple cubic, the packing efficiency value was 52% approximately. I'm taking, correct, no? For simple cubic, 52% is the amount of space which is occupied. That means around 48% of this space is going in the form of void. Okay, the remaining 48, okay, 48% goes in the form of void. And in the body centered, how much was the packing efficiency for body centered BCC? The packing efficiency value came out as around 68%. Okay, so in the 68%, the volume has been occupied and the remaining 32% is going in the form of void. Okay, and the last one, FCC, you have seen. In the case of FCC, which can be like the other one, HCP and even CCP. Okay, so all these are having same packing efficiency. So in this case, the packing efficiency comes out as, yeah, 74%. So that means around 26% is going as a void. Okay, the space is going in the form of void. So now with this, you understand that which kind of packing is better. Okay, where the wastage is less. So that means FCC has a maximum packing efficiency. So that will be the better one of packing. Okay, FCC is the better one. If they ask you where the space occupied is more and less wastage is there. One more thing you can understand this with coordination number also. Do you remember what was the coordination number we had for simple cubic, three-dimensional simple cubic unit cell? How much was the coordination number? Recall and tell me. For simple cubic, how much was the coordination number? Now my question is coordination number. Coordination number, not number of atoms, coordination number. Means the number of neighboring atoms. Array. No, not 1 or 5. Coordination number, how much was it? See here, this atom you see here, this if I locate here. 1, 2, this behind 1, then next here. Yeah, above and below. Yes, 6 is the correct answer. Coordination number is 6, no? For simple cubic, forgot. Yeah, few have given correct answer. Yes, 6 is the answer. What about body centered? How much was the coordination number for body centered? See this figure. It is understanding. Yeah, correct. 8. 8 is a coordination number. Yes. For BCC, coordination number is 8. What about face centered? Face centered, hexagonal, CCP, all of these are having same coordination number. Yeah, for this coordination number was very good. Correct. Others are sleeping, is it? Coordination number is 12. Correct, no? Coordination number is 12. So with this, you understand that more is a coordination number. That means they are having more neighboring particles. So if they are having more neighboring particles, that means they are tightly packed. So if they are tightly packed, that means their packing efficiency is going to be higher. Okay. So with this also you can understand. Here coordination number is 6. That means they have less neighboring particles. So a lot of space is going in the form of void. Okay. Here coordination number is 8. So it's a better one. And here coordination number is 12. So it is still better way of packing. Okay. So I hope this packing efficiency part was clear to everybody. Now we'll go for, we have to work out few problem based on this. They can ask you. So for that you need to remember that A relationship, A and R relationship. Okay. For simple cubic, what was that A relationship? A is equal to 2R. Okay, this was a formula, no? A is equal to 2R for simple cubic. And for face centered, you have seen FCC, that A value was is equal to 4R by root 2. Okay, for FCC, you have seen this is a formula. You can even simplify and write. I told you the other way of writing is A root 2 R. Okay, so this is the relationship between edge length and the radius. That is for FCC. You can remember this, or if you want to simplify, you write this. Okay, and the last one was BCC. For there, the relationship was A is equal to 4R by root 3. Okay, 4r by root 3. So this is the relationship. So they can give you the radius of the atom and they will ask you what is the edge length. Okay, these questions can be asked in your exam. So we'll work out those kind of problem which they have asked before also. So you can take down, students, write down the first problem. Gold with atomic radius, they have given the atomic radius, it is 0.144 nanometer. Crystallizes in a FCC unit cell. They are asking you what is the edge length of this unit cell. Okay, so we need to calculate the edge length. Write down this question first. Yes, let's work out now. So what are they asking you to calculate? Edge length, correct? No? So A you need to calculate. A is a question mark for you. This you are supposed to find. To find is A value. And what is given to you? Given to you is R value. Okay, so that is the radius. R is equal to 0.144 nanometer. Let it be in nanometer itself. You can write the final answer also in nanometer. Okay, so R value is given to you. So we can directly substitute in the formula. But which formula are you going to take here? They are saying this particular gold crystallizes in FCC. Okay, so for this formula is the second one. Okay, that is A root 2 root 2 r. Okay, or I told you the other one you can write as 4r by root 2. Okay, you can take as A is equal to 4r by root 2 or you simplify and write as 2 root 2. Okay, any one you can take and substitute. So here for FCC unit cell, you should first see what type of unit cell is given. Okay, here it is FCC. So your formula will be A is equal to 2 root 2. Now direct substitution, student. There is nothing else. Okay, so here you can substitute and write A is equal to 2 root 2 into R value is 0.144. Now multiply this whole thing. Yes, the answer is 0.407. Yes, correct, students. Very good. 0.407 unit you write correctly, it's nanometer. Okay, so A value is this much. So you can finally write the length of the side of the unit cell is this much. Okay. Okay, we'll go for the second one. Okay, write down this. Next question. Aluminium crystallizes in cubic closed packed structure. Its metallic radius is given to you, 125 picometer. What is the length of the side of the unit cell? First question is that you need to calculate what is the length of the side of the unit cell. Second one is how many unit cells are present in 1 centimeter cube of the aluminium. That is the second part. Okay, but we will work out the first one. First one is easy to calculate. Okay. You copy down the question first. So the first question you can work out now, students. R value is given to you. R value is given. R is how much? 125 picometer. Let it be that itself. Okay. You do not convert into some other unit. Now let it be. Okay. Later I will tell you if it is required. To calculate the edge length, you can keep the same unit unless they ask you in terms of some other dimension. Okay. So here let it be in picometer. R value is given to you. Now the aluminium which is crystallized, it is in CCP. And you know CCP is similar to FCC. Correct, no? So what is the formula you're going to use here? Formula will be same. A is equal to 2 root 2 R. Same formula you're supposed to use. Okay. So only R value is different. You substitute the R value and find out what is A. That will be your first part. Okay. Calculating the length. So this part you can do by yourself. So you will do and tell me what is the answer. Okay. For A. Second part I will tell you how to work out. Yeah. All of you got the answer? Yeah, approximately 354, otherwise 350. This is the answer, no? 353.5 picometer. Okay, this is the answer everyone has got. Approximately, if you want, you can write 354 picometer. Okay, that is also fine. So this much everyone might have got now. No problem, no, in working out this first one. Okay, we'll go for second now. So second question, you see, they are asking you how many unit cells are there in 1 centimeter cube of aluminium. Okay, so see the unit, it is in centimeter cube. So your calculation also should be in centimeter. Okay, you can't take now in picometer, it has to be converted into centimeter. So before that, we will see now how to calculate. They are asking, we have one whole big aluminium. Okay, one whole lattice you are having, which is of 1 centimeter cube. Okay, 1 centimeter cube is the volume of that. But they are asking you, in this 1 centimeter cube, how many unit cells are present? How many unit cells are present inside this? Okay, that small part, how many are there? Okay, now to calculate this, I will give you one simple example. Okay, so I will give you the example of this. Imagine if I have a chocolate bar with me. Okay, and this total length of this chocolate bar is around 10 centimeter cube. Okay, and I tell you that, if I tell you that the small piece of this one piece is there, no, that is of 2 centimeter cube. Can you tell me how many pieces I will be having in this chocolate bar? Okay, I'll repeat if you want. I have one huge chocolate bar with me, which is having the volume of 10 centimeter cube. That full length, okay, full is 10 centimeter cube. And if I tell you that one piece of it, okay, so one piece of it is 2 centimeter cube. So with this, can you tell me how many small pieces like that I will be having in this 10 centimeter cube chocolate bar? Each piece is of 2 centimeter cube. Whole length is 10 centimeter cube. Yeah, 5. 5 is the correct answer. Correct, no? Whole length is 10 centimeter cube. One piece I'm telling is 2 centimeter cube. So can you tell me how many pieces are there? Yeah, 5 is the correct answer. Very good. 5 is the answer. So how you got 5? What you have done actually is, you have taken the total volume. Okay. I'm just giving the explanation for how you have got 5. Correct. No, what you have done is, you have taken total volume. Then you have divided by the small volume. Correct. No, volume of one piece. Yes. Volume of one piece. This is what you did. Okay. Same thing you have to do for calculating this problem also. Okay. They are asking you how many unit cells are present in 1 centimeter cube. So total volume they have given. That is how much? 1 centimeter cube. So you need to calculate volume of one piece. You can calculate volume of one piece. How will you calculate volume of one piece now? And you know all the sides are equal here. Volume, how do you calculate? Of a unit cell, small unit cell. Formula will be A cube itself. Okay. To calculate volume of one unit cell, small one. Okay. That is also having the shape of the cube itself. So you will calculate A cube. For that you require A value. But this A value should be in which unit? It should be in centimeter, remember. Okay. So this A should be in centimeter. So you will convert this picometer into centimeter and then substitute in this and then divide by this value. Okay. 1 divided by A cube, when you do, you will get how many unit cells are present. Did you follow the basic idea? The concept is clear to everyone. What you are supposed to do? Yes? Okay. So we will work out now. Clear, no? Yes. Now here I have shown the first answer. Okay, for cubic close packed structure, this was the answer what you have got. Now next thing, second problem, if you have to work out, okay, you require the volume of one unit cell. Okay, that we have to calculate now. So we are taking volume of one unit cell A cube. So that you can substitute here. See now, this is in picometer. Later we can convert into centimeter. Okay, so this is in picometer now. 353.5 picometer. Okay, so this, if you cube it up, we will remove this and then directly substitute. Okay, like this. Now 1 meter is, 1 picometer is how many meter? Can you tell me? 1 picometer is how many meter? This you have studied in your first chapter, first year's first chapter. You had all these conversions. 1 picometer is 10 to the power minus 12 meter. Remember, 1 picometer is 10 to the power minus 12 meter. Okay. So now this meter has to be converted into centimeter. And you know 1 meter is how much centimeter? 100 centimeter. Okay. So that means I can write here, convert this now. 1 picometer is 10 to the power minus 12 meter. And 1 meter is 100 centimeter. So I can write here, after conversion, I can write this as equal to 353.5 into, okay, picometer is this much, 10 to the power minus 12. Now this I will get in meter. Now you have to convert into centimeter. That means I have to multiply by 100. That is 10 to the power 2. And then you have to cube them up. Okay. This will give you in centimeter. Yeah. Now 10 to the power minus 12 plus 2 will be how much? Minus 10. Okay. Now cube this and tell me. Minus 10 into 3. That will give you 10 to the power minus 30. Okay. And this cube value you have to tell me now. 353.5, the whole cube is how much? How much is it? Okay. Yeah. So 4, 4. All are getting same. No, 4, 4, 1, 7, 4, 1, 5, 5. 0.3 you are having into 10 to the power minus 30. If you want, you can shift the decimal and write in terms of scientific notation. Okay. You can shift this decimal over here. Or let it be. Later you can finally do the calculation. So now we are having this in centimeter cube. Okay. This is the answer for centimeter cube. See the other place I have just shifted this. After you shift, you get around 4.4. Okay. After shifting, I have eliminated all the other number. So after shifting, you will get this much. 4.4 10 to the power minus 23. See, shifting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you'll get 10 to the power plus 7. No, if you shift towards your left hand side, it is plus 7. Plus 7 minus 30 will give you minus 23. Okay. So this will be your answer in centimeter cube. Got? So volume of one unit cell is over now. Next is to calculate how many unit cells are present in 1 centimeter cube. Okay, so that you can do by taking this formula. So to calculate the number of unit cell in 1 centimeter cube, you can write total volume divided by size of each unit cell. Okay, each unit cell or volume of each unit cell. Volume or size of each unit cell. Okay, so then I have substituted here. Now just divide. 1 divided by, you have to do 4.4. This 10 to the power minus 23 you can take up. It will become plus 23. 1 divided by 4.4 will be how much? So when you divide, you will get around 2 point. Yeah, or 0.227. Yes. You can write 0.227 or 2.27 into 10 to the power minus 1. Yes. Okay. This is 0.227. Everyone is getting this much into 10 to the power 23. Unit cells are there. Okay. This many unit cells are there. If you want, you can shift and write. So if you are shifting and writing in terms of scientific notation, this decimal will go here. Okay. So you'll get 2.27 into 10 to the power minus 1. Minus 1 plus 23. So that is 22. Okay, unit cells. So these many unit cells are present in 1 centimeter cube of that aluminium crystal. Students, there are no unit, okay? Because see here, say this centimeter cube and this centimeter cube will cancel each other. So your answer should be only this many, okay? 2.27 into 10 to the power 22 unit cell. Okay, our next part is calculation involving the cell dimension. This is basically we are calculating the density of the unit cell, okay? We are going to calculate density. You know what is density equal to, no? How do you calculate density? If I have to get density of the unit cell, what is the formula for density? Density is equal to, yeah, tell me now. What is density is equal to? Yeah, mass by volume, correct. No, so if I have to calculate the density of the unit cell, what I should do is I should write mass of the unit cell divided by volume of the unit cell. Yes, very good. Okay, so density of the unit cell depends on two things. That is mass of the unit cell divided by volume of the unit cell. Okay. Now coming to the volume of the unit cell, volume of the unit cell here you can write as A cube. We are going to consider a cubic unit cell, okay, simple one, where all the sides are equal. Okay, we are considering this unit cell where the length, the breadth and height, everything is equal. Okay, so it's a simple one. We are not going to consider where the lengths are not equal. Okay, so we are considering only the simple cubic unit cell. So all the sides are equal. So it will be A into A into A. Okay, all the sides. So A cube. So this part will be over. Next, you need to calculate the mass of the unit cell. Okay, now this unit cell actually doesn't have a mass. That mass is because of the atoms which are present. Correct, no? So here, mass of the unit cell will depend on the mass of the atom into how many atoms are present. Okay, so if I give you a box and if there are atoms present inside that, you should see how many atoms are there and mass of each atom. That will decide the mass of that unit cell. Okay, or you can consider even in a classroom. If I have to calculate the density of the classroom, okay, I should know what is the volume of that class, and then I should know how many students are present in the class and mass of each student. Correct, no? So like that only here, if I have to calculate mass of the unit cell, I should know how many atoms are present into the number of atoms. Okay, so that I can write like this: mass of the unit cell will be equal to how many atoms are present into mass of each atom. We are considering here all the atoms are similar. Okay, we are considering the same kind of atom. So we are keeping it very simple. Your syllabus has only this much now. Okay, so same kind of atom we are considering. So it will be number of atoms in the unit cell into mass of each atom. Okay, so number of atoms we are going to denote by Z, and mass of each atom we are going to denote by M. Okay, so Z into M. Okay, this will be the formula to calculate mass of the unit cell. Now coming to this mass of each atom, usually we don't calculate in terms of mass of each atom. Usually how the mass is given to you in the form of molar mass. Do you remember what is molar mass? This we have to write in terms of now molar mass. Okay, most of the time they don't give you mass of each atom because that's very small. And we calculate in terms of molar mass, no? So do you remember what is molar mass? What do you mean by molar mass? Let me see how many of you can answer that. Whatever you remember, you tell me. Molar mass means what? Yes, very good. Correct. So it is mass of 1 mole of substance. Yeah. In grams. Correct. No, 1 mole. Molar they are telling. So that means it is mass of 1 mole of substance. Yeah, very good. So now here, when you talk about molar mass, like for example, if I tell you molar mass of sodium, let me take of sodium. Okay, molar mass of sodium is 23 grams. Correct, no? So that means here I am having 1 mole of atoms of sodium. which is weighing as 23. So if I want mass of one atom, what should I do? Because here we want mass of one atom, correct? No. Molar mass means you are having 1 mole of atoms present, correct? No, 1 mole of atoms are present. So now if I want mass of one atom, what should I do for this? If I need mass of one atom, I should multiply or divide by Avogadro number. Yeah, divide by Avogadro number. Okay, divide. Yes. I hope it's clear. I'll repeat once again. Molar mass means you are having 1 mole of sodium atom present. Okay, 1 mole of sodium, which is weighing 23. Okay, so if you want to calculate for only one atom, you should divide by Avogadro number. That is, you need to divide by Na. This 23 should be divided by Na. Then you will get mass of one atom. Okay. So I hope it's clear. I can write this. That means I can write this in this way. Mass of one atom which is present can be written as molar mass divided by Avogadro number. Okay. So if you divide molar mass by Avogadro number, you will be able to get the mass of one atom which is present. So we can change this equation and write now density. I can write as finally, okay, mass can be written as, see, this is what we have, no? Mass we have written as Z into M. Okay. Z into M. That is mass of one unit cell divided by volume of the unit cell is A cube. Now we know that in terms of molar mass, this mass I can write as molar mass divided by Avogadro number. Okay. So that we have changed and written as capital M divided by Na. So this is the final density formula. Okay. Which we are going to use to work out the problem. Okay. So you can explain each and every term here, where each and every term stands for, Z stands for number of atoms which are present in the unit cell. Okay. So number of atoms present in the unit cell, that you need to remember. For simple cubic, you know, number of atom is, this they will not give you in the problem. Okay. You should remember, for simple cubic number of atom is 1. For face centered FCC or CCP, okay, the number of atom is equal to 4. And for body centered BCC, the number of atom is equal to 2. These things you need to remember. They will not give you. Okay, they will just give you FCC lattice. So Z value you need to understand and write it down. Okay, so Z value is clear. Molar mass, M stands for the mass of the unit cell, single atom, and capital M stands for the molar mass. Okay, then we have A. A is the edge length of the cube, okay, side of the cube. And Na is Avogadro number. Na is Avogadro's number. Yeah, so I told you what type of question they are going to ask is the density problem they will ask you, okay? Or they may ask you to write this formula explaining each and every term. So write down these terms correctly, okay? Z stands for number of atoms present in one unit cell. M is the mass of single atom. Okay, this we have substituted already and we got in terms of this. Molar mass and Avogadro number. Okay, so where capital M stands for molar mass, Na is Avogadro number and A is the edge length. Yes. And the unit, what you are going to write here, see, mass we are going to calculate in terms of gram, no, for density. Mass usually is calculated in terms of gram. And volume, we are calculating in terms of centimeter cube. Okay. So your final SI unit for here, for this density should be gram per centimeter cube. Okay. This will be the unit. So if they give you in some other variable dimension, something else is given, you should convert that edge length to centimeter and mass always should be in gram. Okay, remember that. Your final density unit should be in gram per centimeter cube. So if some other dimensions are given, you need to convert those dimension to centimeter. Okay, in case of edge length, convert that into centimeter. And in case of mass, convert them into grams. Okay. Now write down the first problem. Write down this first problem. X-ray diffraction study shows that copper crystallizes in a FCC unit cell with the cell edge of 3.608 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. In a separate experiment, copper is determined to have density 8.92 gram per centimeter cube. Calculate the atomic mass of the copper.